Oh, it's you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar. Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 52, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, that's amore, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today, that's amore himself, my co-host.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's amore.
That's an Anth0z. Hello.
Hello, what's amore with you? Hey.
Hey.
We should just be super Italian for one whole episode. I'd love that.
Oh man, my wife would hate me. Half Italian is enough for her. I can't do full Italian on her.
She likes Italian dressing, and that's how far she'll go.
No, she doesn't even like Italian dressing.
What about like Italian clothing, Italian dressing?
Yeah, maybe not on me though.
Oh, just for her.
Well, on other people, on certain bodies, just not mine.
Anth0z, what's new with you? What is going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am the good.
You're
I am
the
good
good.
as well. I'm tired, but I'm getting there. This will help. This will be good. You know,
Good.
it's gonna be a good little podcast. We got a lot we got to talk about today. Whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, we're kind of like back on track, and we're well into the new year.
Yeah.
We're
It's
still
almost the end of the month.
podcasting.
Yeah.
It is almost the end of the month. Yeah, and by the time this episode comes out, it'll be the next month. So we're kind of
gosh.
like in limbo right now.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah,
are we
exactly.
really doing? Yeah.
Ooh, we're in that little sweet spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I'm really hoping for some normal episodes coming up soon, because our last couple of ones have been all reviews and very like super episodes. So we're trying to get back to our normal
Super episodes. Cool.
super episodes. Just big topics. We just got some big darn topics, you know.
We
So let's
yeah,
bring it
lot of
down a
big
little
stuff.
bit. Let's get back to the natural way of things and just bring down our topics a bit.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're just not gonna talk anything too crazy.
We're just gonna talk quietly on our topics, you know.
Oops, Google just heard me say something. Nope.
Uh-oh.
Nope, sorry.
Okay, Google.
Stop. Cancel. Okay.
Stop, Google.
X-nay.
Stop. Anth0z, would you like to hear a yoke?
Okay.
All right. Let me do this one. Why do Chinese pirates never get scurvy?
Something to do with, because they never lack. They have a lot of seeds. I can't.
I see what you're trying to do. That's not the wrong way to go. Well, no.
Okay.
Let me correct that. It is the wrong way to go, but that makes sense where you were going with that. Because they all speak Mandarin.
Wait, they all
Hey!
speak Mandarin?
They all speak Mandarin. That's why they don't get scurvy. Mandarin oranges.
Okay. Yeah, I was going for like the whole vitamin C in the oranges thing, but I couldn't. I didn't want to go like the racist color route, so I wasn't sure. Anyway,
Well,
all good.
that's where it went.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, pirate joke.
Thank you.
Did we do what's new with you? No, we didn't. What's new with you?
Oh, I said I'm good,
Oh.
and then I went to you. I'm a giver.
What's new with you? You had something interesting happen the last week.
Yeah. So this past week we celebrated Chinese, or quote unquote Lunar New Year. Actually, there's no quotes. It's Lunar New Year.
So what's the difference? I don't know the difference.
I think Lunar New Year is just it's supposed to be more for what's the
The
word?
moon?
Well, no, yeah, it is representing like the moon and like the new moon calendar, but it's
Twilight
I think
too.
lunar is just more neutral. That's the word. Neutral for like all Asians, because Chinese people aren't the only people that celebrate this calendar. So Koreans do, I believe.
Did the
I
Chinese
guess maybe
popularize it though?
I don't know about popularize it. I mean, it could just be that, you know, being in Vancouver, we have a lot more Chinese for the Asian demographic, and so that's maybe that's why it's more prevalent being known as Chinese. I really don't know, but that's just my guess.
Okay.
So, so for Lunar New Year, this might have been the first year. Actually, I'm sure it was the first year that I attended so many New Year gatherings with my wife and her family. So in previous years, I might attend maybe one or two of them. And I'm not sure if I ever really celebrated too much with my side, with my family at all. But anyway, so yeah, this year we celebrated dinner on a Thursday, had dinner on Friday, on Saturday we had lunch, Sunday we had lunch, and wait, was that it? Oh, Sunday we had lunch and dinner. So yeah, lot of eating. I've definitely gained weight, and
like
it's
4
okay.
days.
I will. Yeah,
It's
no, I'm so sure.
okay.
I don't have a scale, but my floor is creaking.
My
chair's creaking.
Your downstairs neighbors have let you know.
Yeah, they're banging up. They're banging on the ceiling with something that sounds like a broom. Pretty sure.
I can't fight this feeling. Got to bang on the ceiling.
I have a little Mr. Heckles downstairs. Anyway, yeah. So that took place recently. For those of you who aren't too familiar with Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year, Ronnie Cheng, who played Eddie Cheng on in Crazy Rich Asians, he has a new like stand-up show on Netflix. I think maybe it's just one of those like one-off things. And he references, or I guess talks about Chinese New Year. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, I'm not saying that this will be for educational purposes, but he will probably enlighten you to some extent about what it is. If not, you've got Google. Yeah.
Interesting. It's the year of the rat this year, right?
It is the year of the rat. Ooh, also Uniqlo celebrating the year of the rat had another Mickey Mouse collabo kind of thing come out. So if you're into that, go to Uniqlo.
If you're into that rat.
If you're into that, wear the rat. Hashtag wear the rat.
Hashtag ride the rat.
Ooh, ride the rat. I like it.
That should be their thing.
Yeah.
Anth0z, let's move into something I like to call Ye Old News. News. Calling on all news. News. From the oceans, from the mountains, from the skies beyond. News.
From the pigeon coo.
News.
That's my friend's reference.
The pigeon. Okay. Well, I don't know that one. Where's that from?
Oh, Phoebe.
Oh,
she broke something.
From that pigeon on the balcony. Cool.
Or she.
Don't
Yeah,
play
oh
the
yeah,
nice-
she
the
has
nice
it on the
lady.
balcony and it fell off and broke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Don't play the
that's
pretty
the one.
lady.
Yeah.
Cool.
It wasn't her. It was me, the pigeon. Coo. Or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Anth0z, I'm going to start off the news this time because I found something while we were talking for news. Isn't that awesome?
Okay. Cool.
The news I found was the Fast and Furious 9. There is a new poster.
Oh, really?
For Fast and Furious 9.
Oh boy.
And I didn't realize Fast and Furious 9 was so hot on the heels of Hobbs and Shaw, but it is. And it looks like it's called F9, The Fast Saga.
F9. What's the
F9.
command for that on a PC?
Function
F9.
9.
What does that do? F9 shortcut command.
Well, it depends what you program it to do.
F9 update a field. It's an update.
Well, it depends what you're in for updating a field. If you're in like SQL, it's F11. If you
I guess so. Okay, but if you're
that, it's F11.
Well, when I say F9 shortcut,
Are you talking about
shortcut,
Excel?
I have no idea.
Okay, I feel like that's
Anyway,
probably Excel.
I'm just sticking with update because F9 sounds like it's an update.
F9. Wasn't the last one called Fast and Furious 8?
Wasn't it just called F8?
Or was
like
it called
Fate?
Fast 8?
Oh, Fast 8. So they're just really making it shorter and shorter each time.
Actually, I
so by the
can't
time
remember.
it's 10, it's just going to be F.
I'm gonna search it up. I can't remember what it was. Fast 8. Maybe it was called Fate. The Fast and Furious.
Oh, because wasn't it like the Fate of the Furious or something?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It is. It's called the Fate of the Furious.
Yeah, but I assume that
People
the
call
Fate
it Fast
of the
8.
Well, because it should have been, I guess, No, you know what? Maybe we had maybe one of the trailers came out and it was like Fast 8 or pre-production for Fast 8 begins. I don't know.
So you know what? This Fast and Furious 9 might actually have a full title to it, but the poster says F9. But there's also, like you said, there's Fate 8 for Fast and Furious for the Fate of the Furious.
Right. I also assume that they went with Fate only because when you put F and 8 together, it's Fate.
Oh, for Fast and Furious 10, they should do F1 for Formula 1 racing, and then they'll do like they can all be in Formula 1 racing cars.
But then where's the 0?
Oh, I don't know. They don't need a 0. They're fine.
Oh, they should call it F1 Ground Zero.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
All right. All right.
Okay. Do you have any other news that's not F9?
Yeah, I have another number.
Oh, good.
It's 1917 because I watched it.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen it yet, but I do really want to see that.
That was a good movie. I'm really glad I watched that in theaters.
I heard there's a one shot in it where it's like the camera doesn't cut away and it like stays as one shot for a long time in that movie.
I believe they make it look like it's a one shot.
Okay.
So there are a couple times where you can probably get a sense of where it could have been cut.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure where they did it, but like for example, there's okay, I won't spoil it, but in terms of like cutting scenes, like it'll go to black. So I mean, they could technically use that in terms of making it seem like it's a one shot, but the scene still continues. If you know what I mean. You'll know what I mean when you see it. But yeah, that was a really well done movie. I was gripped the whole time. I think the storytelling was well done. I think the cinematography was like even better, or that's probably what made the storytelling work so well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you haven't thought about watching it, go watch it because that was a good movie.
Yeah, that's one I'll probably wait till it's out on release, but I'm interested in it for sure. I saw the trailer and I was like, I gotta see this. Yeah,
I actually asked one of my friends, so she saw it first, and I asked her, is it a theater worthy movie? And she said yes, it was really good. And I think because of the cinematography, that's why I'm really glad that I did watch it in theaters and not wait until watching it on TV or whatever. If that happens to change your mind, I just found that it's hard to talk about it without spoiling stuff, but it's just as you're watching the characters go through everything, I feel that the way that they have filmed everything, they've gotten really kind of like up and close to the characters. You can I think you might get a sense of that during the trailer, just how much they really focus on as if you're in the eyes of the characters that you're following.
Right.
And I think that's why I feel that watching it in theaters does make a big difference. There's kind of a really strong realism to the way that they filmed it, and it comes off really well on big screen. So yeah, so that's my support for big screen. Take with it what you will, but yeah, good movie regardless.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I will see it in theaters. We'll see. I don't know why.
You will watch it.
I seem to watch things less in theaters. Oh,
watch it in theaters.
Okay, I will watch it in theaters.
You will watch it in theaters. Yeah, that reminds me. I had some friends that went to Galaxy's Edge in Florida. You know the new Star Wars theme park. So Galaxy's Edge.
I thought that was in Disneyland.
I think it's coming to Disneyland, but this was in Disney World in Florida.
Okay.
So I assume that they would do both because they kind of like they both have the theme parks and all the same like expansions, right?
Right.
So, yeah, they were on their phones just like filming people. Like they had like live actors all over the place, right? So stormtroopers walking by, but in their video specifically, you could see just a bunch of people passing by them and just like waving their hands in front of the stormtroopers' faces, but the stormtroopers are just straight up ignoring all the adults and just paying attention to the kids below them and just saying like, "You won't be the last Jedi" or something like some stuff like that. It was just funny watching all the adults try and just get denied. Yeah. In other ye olde news, I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but the Grammys of 2020 just happened. So I have no idea what happened other than album of the year went to Billie Eilish. Oops, spoilers for if anybody was hoping to watch that before this podcast.
That's okay. Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish.
It's not for that Bad Guy song, is it?
That how does it go?
That's
the one. Yeah. It's the one that sounds like a video game.
Yeah, yes, that riff is amazing. I love that riff. It sounds like a main menu to any kind of song, but as soon as the lyrics pop in, I just want to throw that song away. It's such an awful song.
It's kind of a weird 2-part song, but
Whoever
But I
wrote
guess
that
it's
riff
in.
though, and I don't know if it was her or if it's like some guy like you or me that just sitting down at a computer who writes this stuff and sells it to producers. I don't know, but that riff is very good. And yes,
Yeah,
it reminds me of like being in an arcade at night and you're kind of walking down looking at different cabinets and like you look at this one and it's at like that main menu screen. It's asking you to put quarters in it and it's like and you're just like looking at it like yeah, I'm gonna play that.
I'm actually picturing something kind of like almost retro kind of spy video game where you're walking down this like metal corridor.
Oh, yeah.
You're trying to find like the secret door to get through to the next level, and that's the music that's playing.
Okay.
And there's like red lights that are just like spinning around on the ceiling. And anyway, yeah. So she's like a new breakout artist, I believe, because she only got she's only popularized like this past year, 2019.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it came as like a big shock to people, but I mean, because I don't listen to her music, but I know that Ariana Grande was also up for it, and she's been kind of like a fan favorite for quite a while. So, and then Billie Eilish even kind of like gave like a shout out to her, saying something like, "Oh, I hope it's okay for me to say," or I'm not sure if I should be saying this, but like I feel like Ariana should be up here, not me. So I don't know. Maybe that goes just to show how much they all respect each other, which is kind of cool. But yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah. I do have a couple more news things. Do you have anything that you want to
I got one more thing. It's not much, but it's going to springboard into something else I want to talk about as well, which is really quick.
Okay.
It's just that there's a new poster for the Sonic movie, and that reminds me that where I work right now is actually where they film some of the stuff for the Sonic film.
Oh, yeah.
So I work in the town of Ladysmith on Vancouver Island, and in there they closed down the town for like a week or so, and they redid the buildings and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
They did it all up for the Sonic movie, and they took drones apparently and shot them down the town, so the drones would like fly really quickly down the town and stuff. So apparently in the new trailer, I just watched the clip of it, you can see the town, but I couldn't recognize it, so I honestly don't see it there. But
yeah,
it just reminded me though that right now at my work they are closing down the town because they're filming a TV show there. And the TV show is called Resident Alien, and it's a new show coming out soon, and it's got that guy in it, the red hair.
Carrot Top.
No.
The guy who plays Cal in Jedi Fallen Order.
No.
Who's red? Ronald McDonald. Who's got red hair?
What is this? Oh, his
Ariel.
name is Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk. He's also
he's right.
Apparently he's in Rogue One. He plays K2SO in Rogue One. He's in Firefly, he's in A Knight's Tale, he's in iRobot. He's in a lot of stuff.
What am I'm picturing him in something where he always has a is it Dodgeball?
He's in Dodgeball. He's a pirate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, he's a pirate.
So he's anyway. So that dude is the lead in this like TV show where he plays an alien who's like on Earth pretending to be a human. And it's like some kind of comedy, I guess. Anyways, he works at a medical clinic, and they're using my work, which is a bank, as the medical clinic. So they've like taken out the whole front of my work and turned it into this medical clinic, which is hilarious. Now my work, the sign just says medical clinic.
Hey, you should see if you can be an extra, or like just say like, hey, I've done roles before.
Yeah, a lot of people in the town were trying to be extras for it, but I watched the extras today doing their job, and it was just really funny watching them. I could see the guys saying action, and the extras that are standing out in the wings and waiting, as soon as they say action, and them just like walking and like doing their route walking. And I'm just like really watching those extras for their acting skills of just pretending to be walking with their buddy and talking about whatever. And I was just like, oh man. And then it's cut, they go right back to their spot, and then they just do that walk again and again. And all day they did this. It was hilarious.
Oh man.
Probably for like a 2-second shot. But what's really funny is both for Sonic and for this movie is it's Colorado. So we live in Canada, but it was made to be Colorado, which is really strange because this town is right by the ocean, but the ocean's not in the shot at all. And they put these American flags all around to make it look like America. And they put for the TV show here, they actually put snow everywhere. So they have this like fake ice snow stuff all around the town, which is just really funny. So.
Oh.
Just really weird little news about a show that I wouldn't have watched anyways, but now I'll probably watch just for the fun of it. But
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not watching the videos or the trailers, but the thumbnails that pop up, that guy's ugly.
The alien? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is a full trailer, but they're just started filming our location stuff now, so that we wouldn't be in the trailer at all.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, he almost looks like he's supposed to be a mixture of all the like his face looks like he's all the Power Rangers in one, like all the colors, but he's just got a big round like Namek head.
Apparently the other day he was after filming, he was still in the costume of the alien, and he was playing football with some of the crew members. So he's just this weird alien out there just playing football. So it's kind of funny.
See, I think that would be probably the most fun that I could have too, like getting the costume and using it for like real life purposes if I were to be an actor for something. So it'd just be much more fun. Like imagine just I don't know, wearing the Batman outfit and going grocery shopping.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's all I got for news. Sorry. So you go back ahead. Tell us more news.
Cool. I got two more. One I can actually whose topic is gonna be first? Mine or yours?
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Two more topics. Two more news items. One is that by the time this podcast episode is released, Netflix will have started their first wave of Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh, like they're gonna start putting them on Netflix.
Yeah. So starting February 1st.
Oh man.
Let's see. The first wave of Ghibli movies will be Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, Kiki's Delivery Service, Only Yesterday, Porco Rosso? I'm not sure about that one. Porco Rosso, Ocean Waves, and Tales from Earthsea.
It sounds like they're going chronological.
That one was chronological, but then the next wave is chronological starting from a different year, so it kind of overlaps.
Oh, I see.
And then I think the same with so in April 1st they'll do the same thing, chronological but starting from a different year that also overlaps. So yeah, looking forward to that. I actually
oh man,
that's one thing.
We should have a Miyazaki episode.
Miyazaki, and yes, we should.
Well, Miyazaki likes it called Miyazaki.
Your Zaki?
Miyazaki likes to call it Miyazaki.
Your Zaki. Wait, it is Miyazaki, right? Just make sure. Yeah, it is Miyazaki.
I have no idea. I was just always
thinking
like,
was there an M-A in there that I didn't know about? But yeah, it's Miyazaki, not Yuazaki. So,
wow.
Anyways, I just realized I watched recently. Kimi no Na wa Your Name. It's so there's a movie out right now called The Weathering with You, which is by the same studio. Oh, who did it? Kimi no Na wa. I don't think I said that right the first time. Kimi no Na wa Your Name. Studio production company, produced by Noritaka Kawaguchi. Okay, I don't know who these people are. Anyway, cute movie. Little bit on like the romance side and kind of feels.
Yeah.
So if you're into that kind of stuff, yeah, it's kind of fun. Go watch it. I liked it. This has been around for actually like a long time, maybe since 2016. I just never watched it till now, and everybody's like, why? And now I can say I've watched it, and there's no more why.
No more. My biggest disappointing Miyazaki
Your
film,
Zaki disappointing?
Yeah, my biggest Miyazaki disappointment was like I like all the base. I like Totoro. I like Castle in the Sky. I love Howl's Moving Castle, and I like Spirited Away. I like the classics. Princess Mononoke I've actually still never seen, so I'll get to that one eventually. But my biggest disappointment was Ponyo. I was so excited for Ponyo, and I remember when I saw it, I was just like, I don't like this one at all. Like it just for some reason didn't hit me right. I don't know why.
Ponyo on the Cliff?
Ponyo! Isn't it just called Ponyo?
Oh, maybe it is Ponyo. Sorry. Why does that thing say Ponyo on the Cliff?
Yeah, it's just called Ponyo.
Wait, but then Google, in its title card thing, in its media
Ponyo
card
on
says
the Cliff by the Sea.
Ponyo on the Cliff.
Yeah, there's something called Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea. Maybe that's a song. I'm not sure.
Oh, like that's separate. Okay.
But that movie's called Ponyo. But my biggest surprising one that I liked, which I don't know if it's my favorite Miyazaki film.
Our Zaki.
But it's definitely it shocked me how much I liked it. Was The Wind Rises. That
was a great movie.
So
I think we talked about this actually.
Yeah, I saw that in theaters, and it blew me away. It was like 2 a.m, but it blew me away. And then
literally the wind rose and blew you away.
I didn't know where I was. Had to restart all over again in life. It was awful. Then that one just, I don't know what it is, but it speaks to me like crazy. And so I put that on 2 more times in my life. I've just randomly put it on in the background, and it's just been such a good movie. I love it. So
I was thinking about it, and so Studio Ghibli, what I find they're really good at is creating a world that is just, it just seems like there's nowhere else that you could live in it other than in your imagination. Like there's just so much going on all the time, and so much wonder and amazement, and it's all kind of just very mind-blowing. And so I feel like they do a really good job of creating that. With The Wind Rises, I felt like it was like a slightly different route, because it wasn't so much about creating. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's relatable.
It is. Yeah, it is relatable. It takes elements that are a little bit more, I guess, close to home for some people. Or, well, I mean, could be depending on who you are. But I found that it was almost like thought provoking on like a simple layer, like a single layer kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I really enjoyed it as well.
And Miyazaki films, I always say are whimsical, but The Wind Rises is not whimsical at all. It's just like grounded in reality, but it still hits you on these notes throughout it. I don't know why, but it's just like that constant like passion of trying to get something done. And Wind Rises shows you all the ups and downs that I think everyone goes through while trying to complete that passion. So it's really interesting. Which is probably just like a love note to Miyazaki himself. It's probably him trying to talk about his own works and like the struggles he go through trying to do that as well. So, but like Spirited Away and like Howl's Moving Castle are so good at just making you want to go there and be there, but you know you can't. Like,
yeah. Okay, so on Wikipedia, I'm just looking up the list of movies by Studio Ghibli.
Oh no!
And there's actually a column that gives you all the ratings from Rotten Tomato.
Oh wow.
So The Wind Rises, what do you think the rating was?
I thought it did really poorly. I thought people did not like it at all. That's why I thought it was a big surprise that I really enjoyed it. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it got like a 6 out of 10.
Okay, Rotten Tomatoes, I guess, does it percentage wise? So
65%.
So okay, apparently got 88.
Wow.
I heard the same as you. I thought it didn't do that well.
Yeah.
But Rotten Tomatoes isn't like, it's not the official say of everything that I know of. I'm not usually in line with Rotten Tomatoes anyway, but yeah, there are 2 movies that got 100%, and I have not heard of one of them. It is also a bit older. It's called Only Yesterday, and that's from 1991. Yesterday, only yesterday. And then the other 100% was The Tale of the Princess Kaguya. I'm sure I've heard of it, but I just haven't seen it. That came out in 2013.
I haven't heard of either of those.
Let's see. What do you think Castle in the Sky got?
So I'm looking at the same page, but I haven't seen the numbers yet, and I just took the page out. So
okay.
Castle in the Sky. Oh yeah, not Howl's Moving Castle. Castle in the Sky. I'm not sure. That one's pretty popular though, so I would assume high 80s.
96.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
How did Howl's Moving Castle do? That had Christian Bale as a voice actor in it. It also had Billy Crystal as a voice actor in it.
Well, I assume that these ones didn't have, because this is from 2004, unless he did.
Yeah, no, that release would have had it.
But he
did Howl like way back when.
But he didn't do they didn't do the English one. He didn't speak Japanese.
Yeah, he did the actual audio, the English audio.
Cool, I can see that. Yeah. No, the Japanese audio.
No, that's the foreign one. You want the original, the original audio. It's the English audio.
Well, because of him, they only got 87%. So.
What about Oh yeah, you already said The Wind Rises, but Wind Rises has so many English actors in it. It's got like Martin Short. It's got John Krasinski. It's got
they all speak Japanese.
It's got JGL in it. It's got Nicole Kidman,
talented,
and they're so good in that movie. They're great.
I barely recognize them. Hey,
yeah,
good job on them for speaking so much Japanese.
Just saying, the English audio is very good in anime, especially when they get English speaking actors.
Wow, it's surprising how the English audio sounds so much like Japanese audio. It's amazing. That post production. Anyway.
Arrietty! I forgot about that one.
Never heard of it. Or him or her.
The Secret World of Arrietty, or Arrietty is what it was here in 2010. I saw that with my fiance actually. Weirdly enough, that was one of the first movies we saw in theaters. She thought it was really weird. She didn't like the anime stuff at that time, but I loved that movie. It's pretty much The Borrowers. It's the same, and it had Will Arnett in it for the voice actor.
Wow, he speaks Japanese too. All these American talented Japanese voice actors.
Yeah, Amy Poehler,
Yeah, wow. Good on her.
I know.
Good on her.
You know, they actually had an English UK and an English US dubbing cast in that. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's how much of a demand there is for English speaking audio.
That's because that's how good they are in Japanese originally, that everybody wants a piece.
I see.
That's how it is.
Okay, well, I've taken up too much of your news time, so why don't you continue on?
That's fine. Well, my last news is we're kind of going a different direction. This is a bit on the sad news. I'm not sure if you've been watching or heard, but it's about the passing of Kbe Bryant.
I don't know who Kbe Bryant is. I know I should know that name, but is he a basketball player?
He's a basketball player. He was a basketball player. Yeah. I can't remember when he retired, but he played for the Lakers. I think his whole career was actually with the LA Lakers since he was 17.
How old was he when he died?
It's 41.
Oh, he died young. How'd he die?
Yeah. So it was a tragic helicopter crash with his one of his daughters, actually, that he was going to...
Oh, wow.
He was taking to her basketball game. So I think she's in either elementary or high school. I mean, she's still like young. And yeah, so they were on their way. I'm not sure why they took a helicopter specifically. And I'm not sure. I don't know if they confirmed. I heard different news sources say how many people were actually in the helicopter. It could be 5, 7, or 9, but 2 of them at least were Kbe Bryant and one of his daughters, one of his 4 daughters. And I believe conditions were quite foggy. They just weren't the best conditions for flying out. And what I heard was that part of the propeller might have clipped something, and they were going like 100 plus miles per hour. So
wow.
I mean, at that speed, it would probably be impossible to get a hold of your of the throttle and control the helicopter properly. So apparently it crashed, burst into flames. And yeah, so a lot of people are definitely devastated about that.
Wow.
Basketball games that took place that day, I'm not sure how many of them even went through, because I know that a lot of players just didn't have the heart to even play. So games were probably canceled. Yeah, Kbe Bryant he definitely had a good legacy. I mean, he died so young too, right? So I think the shock of it made it just that much more impactful on people. But anyways, yeah, so tragic loss, rest in peace to him and his daughter. And yeah, condolences to his family, because that's tough. Very tough. Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah.
Oh well,
such is life.
Such is life.
I think he had some good mentalities, which I want to bring up in my topic. And it is about, I think part of it has to do with moving forward, trusting the process. So, you just gotta keep your head up sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to go into your topic now then?
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go into topic number 1 then.
Segue into that. So, I'm gonna preface first of all that I generally don't watch basketball. The only time I did consistently was last season during the playoffs, because Toronto was in it, and they ended up winning, so it was fun to watch. It's not that I don't like the sport. It's just not something that just could ever really get into too much. So saying that, I didn't really grow up watching Kbe. I don't know him that well. I do know that he has been an inspiration to a lot of people, and obviously that's something that is very respectable. In no way can I talk like I know a lot about him, so anything that I say during this topic is really just about what I've read or seen from people's posts, like on social media, or just heard from people, and hopefully I understand everything correctly.
Right.
Yeah, so his nickname was Black Mamba, and apparently he got that, or I think he really enjoyed the name because of Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so because of that, he came up with, I think he's the one that I guess came up with the Mamba Mentality. But the Mamba Mentality is something that I believe has spoken to a lot of people, and like I said, it has to do with trusting the process and keeping your head up moving forward. I'm just gonna read a quick quote, and this was, let's see, he did an interview, or sorry, he told so I guess an interview with Amazon Book or Amazon Book Review. But he said, Mamba Mentality is all about focusing on the process and trusting in the hard work when it matters most. It's the ultimate mantra for the competitive spirit. It started just as a hashtag that came out to me one day and has grown into something athletes and even non-athletes embrace as a mindset. So what I like about that, well, I mean, there's a lot of things I like about that, but one thing that I find really really compelling and notable is that while he was a tremendous athlete, a lot of people praised him for being just a very good person. He what did he do? I think he, during some sort of rainstorm or something, he got out to like in the middle of the rain and was helping people like give directions or something like that. I don't know. He just wanted to make sure that people were like safer getting to where they needed to. I can't remember what it was exactly, but and then other reports of people just saying how dedicated he was to his family too. And so he and his wife, they had, I think by this time they had 3 daughters. So he had 4 in the end, but had 3 daughters first, and then the news reporter talking to him asked him like, oh, if you could have another one, would you want to have a son? And his response was something like, oh no, would you do, I think maybe she asked him like, if you could do it all over again, would you have sons instead? Right. And his response was, no, like he's what did he say? He's a girl daddy, I think is what he said, or he's a daughter daddy or something. And he just completely embraced it. He was very happy with his life and what he's able to do with his daughters and what his daughters were able to do. Right. I think because to him they were all also very like strong and independent people. And yeah, so those are just a couple things just to touch on like him as a character. But yeah, I like now kind of understanding a little bit more about the Mamba Mentality. I can kind of like, it resonates within me as well, because I always there was a time when I was really trying to focus on like working on myself and trying to like have that to be able to move forward and use throughout my life and just be successful in some way. But then sometimes you can't control everything. What you can do is work hard, do what you can to the best of your ability without taking life for granted, and trust that trust that you are doing, like, you're moving in the right direction. You can trust yourself that if you're working towards it, if you're working hard for it, that that it can put you in the onto the right path. There's a lot of things that people can trust, depending on their faith, and but I think this is something that from what I understand, resonates with a lot of people. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and see what your thoughts are, or if any of the audience has anything that they can input when they get a chance to comment on it or anything. But yeah, I don't know. Well, what does that mean to you based on what I've said, Mattbrush?
I don't know. It's interesting. I do like what he said though about the daughter daddy. I think that's fun. I like that. It's a good response. Yeah. I think any daddy can embrace just having only daughters, and like anybody who can be honest all the time is a better mentality. And if you can say like, oh, I would have rather had, or at the time I would have rather had sons, but like my life wouldn't be the way it is now if I didn't have daughters, or whatever, right? Like that's a totally fine response, I think. So I like people that are honest about that kind of stuff, and I think that's great. It sounds like he was a really good and inspirational person. Yeah, I unfortunately don't know anything about him, but that is definitely a good mentality for lifestyle. We can always improve, and we can always do better, but I think, well, not but we can always improve, we can always do better. I think a lot of times though we get caught up in tearing ourselves down while doing that, though, to like say like we're doing a bad job to get better. I don't know, I think we go about it in the wrong way, and it sounds like the mentality he's got, that the mentality he's trying to enact is more like you can do it, you just have to put your mind to it, I guess, but like not like by tearing yourself down, but just by doing it, or just attempting it. If you screw up, it's okay, you just keep trying again. So it's kind of like I think it was Wayne Gretzky, actually it was Michael Scott that said you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I feel like it's almost like that, but a more like step-by-step analysis of it, if you know what I mean. Right. Because he's saying
yeah, if you're saying that what it means is to go for it, then that's kind of like not missing out on taking those chances. But he's also saying, you know, trust the process, trust what you were doing, trust your effort, trust your ethics.
Right. Yeah.
Trust. Yeah. So, which I think is kind of cool. It's a little bit. It might be a little bit more easy to understand and for people to connect with. So I'm actually just looking up what. So it was. Where is it? Well, the title says Lakers great Kbe Bryant gives awesome assist to car crash victims. So there was a car accident. So this was actually in 2019, and he got out in the accident to help comfort victims of the crash. I think he was probably just helping make sure that everybody was okay and just like assisting. Like I don't know how many people would necessarily get out and do that if they could, but yeah, I think just knowing that he had the opportunity and took it, you know, was positive for people. I think that, you know, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. So I wanted to allude to when I think there was a big tribute to him maybe at the Lakers stadium in LA, and definitely a lot of people were there specifically who like grew up watching him or just like were really big fans of him. You could see people in the audience like crying. I think whether or not you knew him, like whether or not that you were actually close friends with him, I feel like he definitely could have been a person who impacted you greatly and very positively, which I think is really cool. Because we've had, I think in the past few years, we've definitely had a lot of people pass away that are known celebrities. Obviously they had people that were close to them. To what scale, I'm not entirely sure, but I feel like for this case, it's very evident that he was able to impact a lot of people. Like he inspired a lot of basketball players, right? If they felt like they couldn't play because of what happened, like he definitely had a really big impact on them. So those are the players that carried on after him, right? They're not ones that, they may not have been like close friends with him, but they had spirit that they got from him. And as far as the fans go, people who might not even play basketball, I'm sure probably felt some sort of positive vibes from him, and probably also really feel that loss. And I think it's in these kind of moments, just knowing how many people there are sharing these feelings about this person, I think at the same time is kind of like it's really cool to see in this way people coming together and sharing those same feelings, and like evidently, and and I almost feel like this is also an example of trusting the process. Like trust that what's happening, you're probably not the only one going through it.
Right.
Like trust that as humans on Earth, we have a lot of people that we can fall back on, a lot of people that we can get support from, that we can also give support to, share things with, and I'm kind of, as I'm talking about this, I'm kind of feeling like, wow, I like the Mamba mentality more and more. But
you should take a month and live the mentality for that month. Do the Mamba challenge.
I'm sure there's so much more to it, because like it's been around for some time, right? And maybe over this time, it's like over the years of him embracing the Mamba mentality, it might have actually kind of evolved to accommodate things over the years, to accommodate more positivity, to accommodate more situations. So I'd be interested in seeing how else this may have evolved, or how it might have impacted people as a whole. So good for him for being able to do that for people. Yeah, I think it's really cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, he sounds cool. I'll look him up and see some more of the inspirational stuff from him, because it definitely sounds interesting. Based on the little I know about him, he must be really good at marketing. He's got his own beef products, you know.
Is it Kbe beef?
Yeah, and they're all over the place. This stuff's expensive too, so he's done very well. So.
Yeah, well, he probably had expensive taste, but I think he's a high value person, so he provides high value meat.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do some more research on him and figure out more. But that's really interesting. The more you know. Yeah, I didn't hear
more
about
you
this
know.
from anywhere, so this is the first time I've heard it. Breaking news.
I'm surprised because it's. I feel like it's been all over, like, well, it's been all over my feed, but that's just based on my circle of friends or my circle of followers, and but I do see it on the news quite a bit. So, yeah. Anyway, things are different on the island, I'm sure.
We don't get your news here. Actually, I've been listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobook so much, I haven't been listening to my news podcast. I probably would have heard it somewhere on there, but
Right.
I'm trying to get through all of Lord of the Rings. I'm almost done, so I'm just like powering through the end kind of thing. But
Yeah.
all right. Well, I'm gonna skip Wheel of Scum if that's cool with you.
It's not cool, but fine.
I know we're trying to get back to normal, but we're almost there. We'll almost
All
have
right.
a Wheel of Scum in
Almost
2020.
there. Almost there.
We'll move into topic number 2, which is a huge shift in focus from what we were just talking about.
Ooh.
I feel bad actually that it's such a shift in focus. Yours is so deep and so like, I don't know, thought-provoking, and mine is just so dumb.
I'm sure it's not dumb. It's honestly, you know, like we have this podcast for being able to share like whatever it is that we want to talk about, right?
Exactly.
So it's
I have people ask me all the time, what do you guys talk about in your podcast? And I always say movies, TV shows, video games, books, pop culture. but then I'm like, but really at the end of the day, it's just whatever we feel like talking about for that week. It's kind of like me just venting about whatever I want, which is really what my topic is right now, but it just shows the focus of where we are.
Hit me. It's all good.
Okay. So I've been looking at Doom Eternal, and my topic is.
Doom I've Eternal. Had enough. No, we're not doing this. No, I'm kidding.
It's not because you had talked about it last week, which was awesome. It was cool. We scratched the surface with it, but I was actually watching AGDQ again. So the speedrunners that I talk about every now and then, I watch the speedrunners do their speedrun thing, and I was watching these guys speedrun Doom 2016. And it's amazing what the guys have done with that game lately, and how they've been able to cut that game down to. Man, I think it was 1 hour and 36 minutes, and that was on Nightmare difficulty. So that was the hardest. Oh, and it was 100%. So that means all collectibles, all secrets, everything. So they did all the gun mods. They got everything that you had to get. They did it on Nightmare difficulty, and it was in like 1 hour and 36 minutes or something. Don't quote me on the time, but it was. I watched it in one sitting, so it must have been under 2 hours.
But you watched like 1 hour and.
Oh yeah,
1 hour 36 straight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Watch that whole thing because I find speedrunning very entertaining and really good for getting my brain going for developing games. Because they really break these things and make you think about how games are made. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I've seen this is still related, but I've seen some videos where people watch it live, right?
Oh yeah.
So they'll be in some sort of like a little conference room. There's rows of chairs behind them.
Yeah. That's AGDQ. Is that usually?
Okay. Yeah. But I like how like the people that are watching know what the speedrunner is going to do. Like sometimes they know exactly what the steps are supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then if the speedrunner happens to miss something, then you hear the crowd go, "Oh."
Yeah.
Like you actually hear them sigh. Like you like it's just it's cute.
Yeah, I really like the camaraderie between all the people that are trying to speedrun it because it's a collective process, and then there's usually just somebody in the driver's seat trying to enact that process they've come up with. So the people,
Teamwork.
yeah, exactly, and the people on the couch behind them are usually explaining to us, the viewers that don't understand what they're doing, the collective works of the last couple of years of them trying to speedrun these games. So in Mario, when we just watch Mario do like 3 quick hops to suddenly like glitch out in the tower and end up at the top of the tower, we think it's cool looking, but the guy on the couch is explaining what's actually happening with the sprites, what's actually happening with the hitboxes and all that stuff. And
right.
It's very interesting to get that detail there, and you go, oh, interesting. Like, and it's funny, once you start watching enough of these different games, you start to see the same terminology or the same ways people are breaking the game. So it's really interesting how lots of games can be totally different, and yet the same techniques are applied to break the game. So, just kind of cool. Anyway, so they were doing Doom 2016, and that just really got me going. And then while they were doing this, the Doom Eternal team at ID were watching it, and they kept donating money, and they kept saying comments like, "Oh, like it's so exciting to see our game get broken like this and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Like the guys at ID are just sitting there, just watching them all play their game, and it's like such like a success story, I guess. I don't know. It's just, it must be fun as the developers to see other people having fun with your game like that, and just that.
Oh
sense
yeah,
of just,
for
like,
sure.
It's just really cool. So that made me then watch like related videos of Doom Eternal, and now I've sat through like hours of the developers talking about Doom Eternal, and I'm like so excited for this game now. And it's just like I went from like, oh, that's gonna be fun when it comes out, to like I'm waiting for the day now. Like I can't wait for this to come out. there's something just about Doom that hits me in a weird place that I love it.
And you're talking about the game, not just Doom in general. But,
Doom.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm sure a lot of it is nostalgia. Nostalgia is a heavy thing, but yes, Doom Eternal just looks really good. But just to quickly rant about some of the cool new features that you can see in Doom Eternal, this is now a product placement spot because I'm so excited.
Perfect.
One of the
We're gonna get sponsors.
Yes, sponsored by Doom Eternal. ID is paying us money. One of the cool things that Doom Eternal's got is now did you play Doom 2016 at all?
Nope.
Okay, you know Doom though. You've seen Doom played, ran.
I see Doom everywhere I go.
Meet your Doom.
The only Doom I ever played was
Doom 64?
Probably like the first like on PC. Like just Doom. Doom period. And I as a kid playing that, I was just too scared, so it's
a scary game. Yeah, I was like, well, I mean, it's technically not a scary game, but like when you were our age and that game came out, it was scary. Like it was freaky. Yeah. The whole screen was red. Like that's freaky when you're a kid. Oh.
And I hated seeing like you've got your avatar, like your face.
Oh yeah.
At the bottom of the HUD, and he's looking at you, and every time he gets like hurt, he like makes a face, and I'm looking at him like, oh no, like I feel the pain, and then eventually like he's so hurt, there's like, doesn't he have like blood coming down his face?
Well, if you die, he screams out in pain as the blood pours down his face. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Ugh, man, it's poor guy, poor sprite.
It is pretty crazy. But then when you pick up the shotgun, he smiles, and it's so good.
Yeah, I remembered that when people would if people would hack it and put on God mode, his eyes would go white.
Oh yeah,
or something like that.
They go yellow.
Like, whoa,
it's like a yellowy
rated.
white. Yeah.
Oh, yellow white. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, with Doom 2016 at least, they recreated a lot of the monsters from the first game, the demons, and they brought them back and did like new kind of versions of these demons and stuff. And it was really fun, and you could shoot them and kill them, and they had these things called glory kills, and it does like an animation as you kill the demon. It's all bloody and gory, and it's like really over the top. The new game, one of the biggest things that they're doing for it is they're creating what's called like improvised damage, or I can't remember the exact terminology they use, but it's damage that's caused to the demons where there's no like one way to like destroy the limbs and all that kind of stuff of a demon. So like in the other game, you would just shoot at like a 3D model object, and eventually it would get destroyed enough that it would fall over and die. And it does a pre-made animation of it like exploding and dying or whatever, right? In this game, the damage is based on like where you're hitting it. So as you're shooting it, it's actually like destroying and decaying away the 3D model of it. So they found a way to make it so that these 3D models aren't, I think they called them units, or like they called them it used to be some kind of like a case that they would put the 3D model onto, so that the case could only do like one thing and then enact its animation. Well, now that case can be totally ripped apart in any way they want and still be part of that 3D model. So yeah, now they can totally destroy demons. But not only that, once they cracked that code and started to do that, they actually came up with new ideas for demons. So there's a couple of them that they're apparently like two-parters. So there's this one demon that's a spider, and it's inside this giant like robotic spider bot. It's a spider mastermind character from the Doom 2 game that this is kind of trying to recreate. And in this spider thing is in this big like robotic thing. You could apparently shoot out the robotics of it and shoot out its gun, and then it will like get out of the spider thing, and it's a different kind of enemy that's like out of the thing. So it separates as an enemy. So just interesting stuff like that they've been able to throw around. Then there is this new thing like the Doom overworld. So there's like almost like Dark Souls-esque. There's now like you're able to have like your little hub, or if you want to think about it as Mario Galaxy 2, you've got like your own hub, and then you're going, or maybe Mario Odyssey is a better example actually. You've got your hub, and then you're going to other worlds. So like in the Doom way now, you're like going to each different levels, but returning back to like your little home base, which is just insane for me because I love that stuff. So I think that's gonna be awesome for Doom. Because you'll be able to,
always like going home.
I do like going home. It is nice. And then the last thing that I think is so far, which is just amazing about this, is just the music. The music in Doom is insane. Like, I talked about it last time, but like it's heavy metal. It's heavy metal meets electronic, it meets synth, and then it meets like choir music. It's insane. But it's like, if you like any kind of music, I feel like it will hit something that you like. And for me, it's orchestral. I really like orchestral music. I really like choir music. I really like these like big epic songs, and Doom does that sometimes. So it totally pulls me in, and then it just smacks me with a bunch of like this heavy metal sounds that I'm not expecting to like, and then I'm just kind of like seduced into it, and I'm just like, this is great. Like, so nice. you can listen to some of the Doom Eternal tracks now on, some of them are up already, and they're just really, really good. Really, really good. Really crazy, but really good.
Let's see. Open it up YouTube.
But
Doom
if you're ever
Eternal OST.
If you're ever needing some music to calm you down, some really nice calming music, then Doom Eternal's soundtrack is definitely what you want to do.
Whoa, that first thumbnail looks cool. Wait, is that a silhouette for 25? Is it like their 25th anniversary or something like that?
I don't know. I'm actually not sure.
So the first, I put Doom Eternal OST. The first one I see is by Versus Music Official.
Yeah, no, that one is actually incorrect. I was looking at that one online. The one that's Versus
Okay.
Music Official or whatever, that one is somebody making music to be like it, but it's actually not theirs. Yeah, because
But if you see the thumbnail, it shows 25. So I'm just wondering, is there anything to do with Doom and 25 this year?
Know. I'm not sure. Yeah, it does say Doom 25. I'm really not sure. But maybe it is ID's 25th anniversary. Doom came out in 93, I think. The first Doom.
25th anniversary mod was 2018. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was looking at the comments on that one video there, and they were like, this one guy's like, why does this sound like the too much? It's kind of like the first one, but a little bit worse. And this guy's like, oh, that's not actually. There's this one guy who makes the music. His name is Mick Gordon, and so if you see anything that says Mick Gordon, then that's like the music he did.
Okay, and I see the second one. It says Mick Gordon. The only thing they fear is you.
Yeah, that's a good track.
Cool.
Oh, that's so there's a guy who oh my god, I can't even speak right now. NoClip is a documentary guy on YouTube you can watch. I'm totally blanking on his name right now. And he does documentaries on Doom 2016, so you can see a lot of the development process for 2016, but he's starting to do development interviews now with the guys on Doom Eternal. And you can watch them talking about Doom Eternal, and it's just, there's an hour-long video of them talking with the guys for Doom Eternal, and it's so interesting, them talking about their own game. They pretty much explained that they learned how to make a video game at the very end of making Doom 2016. It was like, right when they finished making Doom 2016, they were like, oh, that's how to make a game, and that's how to be a studio, and all that kind of stuff, right? So they said like
trust the process.
Yeah. So they said like going into Doom Eternal, they were like already set. They're like, here we go. So they just like full force went into it, right? And they explained a lot of like no-brainer things that you don't think about in the development world. But they were saying things like, for the first quarter of making Doom Eternal, they were saying things like, oh, I don't really feel like going to work. I don't really like working. It's just not that fun. All this kind of stuff. And they realized after a while it's because their game wasn't fun. They hadn't done enough from Doom 2016 for Doom Eternal yet. So he said that their goal was to make it so that all of them like wanted to just get to work. Like they all wanted to go to work because they wanted to play the game. So their main goal was like fun has to always be fun. So they just kept testing and ripping things out and testing until they made it fun. Now they're like hosting competitions and stuff like that at work, and they're like skipping things just to get back to work so they can play some more of the game and stuff like that, which is like, for them, he says like
that's a nice culture.
Yeah, they're like, that was like their biggest achievement, was like to just finally get back to really enjoying Doom for what it is. It's like, oh yeah, super cool.
So you didn't like the music from any of the other previous games, like the previous Doom
No,
games?
no. I don't remember the music in Doom 3 at all, but Doom 1 and Doom 2 have incredible tracks. E1M1 is one of the most popular Doom songs, and most people can recognize that song, and it is amazing.
So I found something that I think you would like. Maybe you've already seen it, but it's by the Game Awards. Doom soundtrack live at the Game Awards 2016.
Oh,
Composer Mick Gordon performs the Doom soundtrack live.
I saw that.
That's cool.
I didn't actually watch the video, but I saw that Mick Gordon actually performed that live. That's pretty interesting. Now, I do know some guys in the video game sound development world, and I've heard things about Mick Gordon which makes him sound kind of egotistical and like frustrating to deal with. So he himself, I don't know. I don't really know anything about the guy. I know he's very talented, so good for him, and I love the music he makes. But I have also heard from personal sources that he's kind of like an annoying guy to talk to. But
so just for I was gonna say for the audience, but really it's for me, because I don't really recall enough about Doom other than what you've spoken about, and like that one time I played and had to go to the bathroom right after. Do you like, if you could put into a brief summary, very brief, like paraphrase like the plot of Doom.
That's kind of the thing with Doom. John Carmack, who made Doom with John Romero, he famously said that plot in video games is like plot in a porn movie. It's there, but you don't really need it there. It's not the point of it. So
it's one of those games.
The whole thing with Doom is when they were first making Doom, I think Tom Hall or some of the other guys on the original ID team.
Tom Holland, yep.
No. They were building what was called the Doom Bible, and they were creating a lot of plot, and they were doing all this stuff with like a Necronomicon and stuff like that. They were trying to build like a bestiary of demons and stuff and create all this lore and everything. And it was John Carmack who was just like, no, screw this. Like, we don't need any of this. They were like, put the player in the game, give him a gun, and shoot demons. They're like, that's the game. So then Doom 1 had very little story to it. It had like a wall of text, and it would be like Mars is being attacked, blah, 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 and your character would go, and you were a space marine trying to, in the future, you were a space marine who is going to a base after the base got wiped out by a bunch of things, right? And you get to the base and you discover that on the base they were trying to harness some energy from hell to make life easier for people, I guess. And since they opened this portal to hell, the demons were then destroying all the people on Mars. So you go in as a space marine and you kill all the demons. And that's also being a little bit like more exaggerated on the story than what you got in the first game. It was pretty much just shoot a bunch of demons and feel good about it, and that was about it.
Okay, cool. Because I'm looking at some of these thumbnails, and I see this guy who looks like he's from Warhammer, but he also looks like he's Predator. He looks like I can't tell quite what he is, but he's standing on a mound of what looks like a bunch of bodies that he's probably slain. So I just assume, I don't know, like I get the vibe that he's in hell, and he's just trying to survive and maybe conquer it and then get out.
Well, that's,
I mean, I don't know about the get out part, but
that's pretty much it. Doom 2 did the story of hell on Earth. The only difference in Doom 2 to Doom 1 is that it's now hell has opened up a portal so big that the demons have come to Earth and are starting to destroy it, and you as the lone hero are trying to kill all the demons. Again, barely any story. That was about all you get. Doom 2016, Doom 2016, they kind of found a really good way to do it. They threw a bunch of lore into the game, but you don't get that lore unless you look really closely for it. And what the story is now is that the Doom guy that you're looking at there, the Doom Slayer, is some kind of just like immortal hero who is so powerful that all the demons in hell are afraid of him. And so they they put him inside this like sarcophagus, this like tomb thing, and they like sealed him in there magically and said like never open this up. So you start Doom 2016 with breaking out of this tomb and just killing everything, and you're just going on a rampage. And you start to realize throughout the game that they fear you. You don't fear them. They're afraid of you. And over time, you're realizing as you're killing all these demons, like they talk about you as like the Doom Slayer. They talk about you as like the thing that kills them. So you're the thing against. It's like this power struggle where it's like you're constantly beating them. And what's funny is the gameplay complements that. You're not supposed to cower behind anything. You're not supposed to take your time and reload or any of that kind of stuff. There's none of that. You are supposed to go full force at the demons as much as you can, and then strategically. But it's really interesting.
And you're always like in all the iterations of the game, are you always the same Marine person, or is it always different?
It's never been confirmed. Nobody's ever confirmed any of this, but it seems that way. And it seems to be that this is the same guy who keeps getting put on ice almost, and then back into it, then put on ice, then back into it, kind of thing. I don't know if he's like magical. I don't know if he's immortal because of some other reason. Some people say it's like supposed to be like a divine thing, like he's sent from the heavens and stuff. So there is a lot of like, since there's hell and demons, there's a lot of like imagery for like some kind of heavens and biblical stuff. So maybe he's like a saint. So you can actually see they seem to be going that way in the new one here. What was it? Heaven's Wrath? Heaven's Wrath is one of the songs. And even on the imagery, there's like wings and stuff like that. And like it seems like they're really steering into this whole like divine thing. But
and how about like a final boss or something? Is that always different, or is that always the same? Or like a different kind of like, you know, Diablo. It's always Diablo as one of the final bosses, but he's just like a different kind of iteration of himself.
In the first Doom, I think it was maybe the Cyber Demon or like some kind of demon. It wasn't like a
Cyber Demon.
It wasn't like a Bowser-esque boss. It was just sort of like a boss. The Cyber Demon, actually, I'm pretty sure is Doom 2's main boss that you fight, but there's also a thing called the Origin of Sin that is kind of also a main boss, but it's not like a boss. It was just like this giant head thing that like shot little cubes at you. Wasn't necessarily a boss.
Spider Mastermind, is that the one?
Spider Mastermind is just like an enemy, a massive enemy that you would fight. It's a boss-like enemy, but it's just in levels that you would kill it. It's just a unit type. But in Doom 2016, they tried to kind of make a boss. They made the Cyber Demon is in it. The Spider Mastermind is in it. And there's like a character named Olivia Pierce that they kind of try to turn into like the main antagonist, I guess. But I don't know how much that really works. I don't really care about her as an antagonist, and I don't think that really mattered too much. So I think in Doom Eternal, I don't know if there's going to be a major boss in that one or not. But there's not necessarily one Bowser-esque boss to all of the Doom games. It's kind of just you versus Hell, and Hell tries to throw in new tricks all the time.
Hell can be tricky.
It sure can. There's no like Lucifer or anything like that though.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at maybe this is Doom. This might be Doom 2 because I think I just saw final boss for Doom 1 and it was Cyber Demon, or maybe no. Now I see this giant brain on a.
That's the like Origin of Sin. Yeah, the giant brain thing. That's the Origin of Sin, and that's Doom 2. The last level of Doom 2 is like Doom the 2. Giant brain thing, and it shoots these cubes down that turn into enemies, and you just have to keep shooting rockets into the Origin of Evil or Origin of Sin. It
kind of looks like Krang.
Yeah, yeah, it kind of looks like that. Yeah,
it's like if Krang was just like, I'm tired of this body, it sucks. I need legs.
If you put in a cheat code and you go through the wall and you go right through that face, and you get into like the back part of it, there's actually a stick back there, and on the stick, it's like a spike, is the head of the main creator John Romero. And
oh, cool.
So it's like when you're killing the boss, you're actually shooting John Romero. He's technically the last boss of the game.
Oh, I love Easter eggs like that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I'm sure I've talked about that too, but I love it when artists get a chance to do that, because it's just like a little like extra level of fun, and it's really, I think it's for really like the fans of the game who appreciate, like if they know who he is and they see his face and they get like that, then yeah, I think it makes a huge difference. It's kind of like here's some extra bonus for like all your hard work. Yeah.
Like if you type in John, it's so popular. If you type in John Romero, like it comes up pretty quick. Like just that one picture of like the sprite of the thing on the stick, just because like people talked about it forever because it became a great Easter egg.
John Romero. Let's see.
He's a crazy metalhead looking guy.
Doom. Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. It's him with shorter hair, no glasses, and he looks like a young Elon Musk.
He kind of does. Yeah.
Wait, so you're actually shooting his face on a wall? What am I looking at?
Yeah, that's just kind of like where the spot is. You're actually shooting. You're not there. Like in the real game, you're not actually at that spot. You're way further back on like a cliff, and you're shooting rockets into what looks like a portal. But beyond the portal is actually this face here, and so you're actually shooting this face, but you just don't know you're doing that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, I'm really excited about Doom Eternal. It looks like they're taking a lot of inspiration from Doom 2. They do this crazy platforming thing in a first-person game. There's just a lot going on with that company, and I'm really impressed with it because they don't take themselves super seriously, but they do treat their game like a video game. They're not trying to make it a movie or anything like that. They're just treating it game first. And I'm so excited to see that because I just don't see it in games often. And I will be playing the game like as soon as it comes out, so I'm gonna have like a whole review on it and stuff and what I think about it. But I'm hyped. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do with it. And if it sucks, I will let you know.
Cool. Because either way, I probably won't play it, but I'll be living it vicariously through you.
You sure will. I'm
still going through my backlogs of games, so yeah. But it does look fun. Like it's intriguing. I like that. I like that new kind of like case that you were talking about, like that new box, or like the case for the monsters that you fight for them to be able to like, that whole improvised death stuff. Sounds really cool. It sounds like it's like a good natural progression of what we would expect to be seeing in games these days.
For sure. Yeah, so, I mean, exactly. When you see like a hit, it's just a hitbox, I guess. It's like a hitbox, except for instead of it just being a cube, they were able to deteriorate that cube in certain ways, so it becomes its own thing after a while. That's just really interesting. I love how they got into that.
Oh man, if I was a kid playing this now, I mean, like if I was the kid that I was back then and playing Doom the way it is now, wouldn't be able to sleep ever.
Well, it's just okay. So I guess here's my closing thoughts too. I haven't seen a game where I'm interested in the game, the developers, the soundtrack, and the art as much as I am right now with this game, like I could care less about art, but this game, I'm looking at like conceptual art of the game,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that is so cool. And not only does it make me want to play Doom Eternal, it makes me just inspired in general about just like being imaginative, being creative, and like being out there. It's like if you remember looking at Lord of the Rings when they did conceptual art for what they wanted to do for like Helm's Deep or stuff like that. When I was a kid, I'd look at that and be like, that's so cool. Like it would get me really going. And now I'm watching Doom Eternal. I'm like, wow, I'm getting that same feeling from this because I can see actual passion behind this game. I can see people really trying hard to make something interesting. So
yeah,
it's very cool.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on Doom Eternal. Let's see how it goes. I'm really hoping for the best. And I'm really excited to see what the speedrunning community does with Doom Eternal.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But that, so like the speedrunning, I mean, it would probably take some time before that even becomes like a before people are able to really do a speedrun, right? Like it would take some time before people get used to it. Like they have to uncover the glitches. Or they have to get used to the overall gameplay, and I guess
well, it has to start
mechanics.
somewhere, right? And it doesn't start with glitches. It just starts with people beating the game. So they beat the game, then they try to beat it faster, and they try to beat it faster and faster and faster and faster, and eventually somebody gets it down to like 4 hours. That's when it starts to get exciting. Once you get down to like 4 hours or so, that's when everyone starts to go like, okay, so we know where all the collectibles are, we know where all the secrets are, we know where all that stuff is. Now let's try to find the routes. And it's all about like, okay, well, this route's the longest. Can we find an exploit? Is there something here? Like, you know, and then it just gets really interesting. People start chiseling away at all the little sections until you get that 4 hours down to 3, down to 2, down to 1. And by the time Doom Eternal's down to like 3 hours, the Doom 2016 will be down even further. So it's gonna be really exciting. Yeah. Very cool. Anyway, sorry, that was just me on my rant. That's why I didn't want to do the wheel, because I knew I was just gonna end up ranting a bunch about Doom, but.
I mean, it's not much of a rant. It's really just about
you excited.
It's your joy.
My
you
passion.
liking something.
My passion. And I haven't found many games to be passionate about lately, so it's exciting to be excited again.
Oh, that's what you said. You said passion. I'm like, what are you passing? I was trying to figure out. Your passion.
All right, Anth0z, with that, why don't you let the audience know where they can find you?
If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at ANTH0Z1.
And if you want to find me, you can also find me at Twitter at Mattbrush Gaming. Or if you wanted to listen to this podcast, but in audio format, and by that I mean video format, you can go to YouTube and type in Mattbrush Gaming, and you'll see the Scumbar Podcast on there. Or you can go to any of your favorite podcasting platforms, and you can type in the Scumbar Podcast, and you will find us there as well. You can also follow us. You can like us. You can light us.
You can light the way for us.
You can dark us. You
probably can't light us.
You can sub us.
No, you can try.
You can star us. You can rate us. You can comment us.
You can
share us.
Have us. You can see us. You can hear us. You can feel us.
If you want to talk to us, you can send us an email at thescumbarpodcast@gmail.com. You can send us an essay. You can send us just like a whole rant about Doom, or a whole rant about Kbe Bryant. Let us know what you think.
Or a whole rant about Mattbrush talking about Doom.
Or me talking about Doom. Write me an essay about me talking about Doom. And we'd love to get all that.
Just transcribe this whole video and our podcast.
Although I'm must say though, I'm really appreciative of all the people that are listening. I have been paying attention to the numbers, and I am very happy to see that there are people that are listening to us. And I really hope that you're enjoying the podcast. Please let us know if there's anything you want more or less in these podcasts. But wait, we're enjoying doing them, so I'm glad you're listening to them at least. So.
Yeah. Also, last thing, I want to give a shout out to I don't know if he has like a online gamer tag or anything like that, but I'm just gonna call him Mr. Chuck for now.
Mr. Chuck.
He told me recently that he's been listening to every episode ever since I told him about it. So
wow.
Thank you. You are probably our #1 fan, and we love that you're listening to us.
If we do any kind of like t-shirt competition or something, you're gonna win the t-shirt really quickly, because I don't think anybody else is going to enter or know how to, if we do a trivia question, you might be the only one that gets the answers right. So
yeah, or if it's one of those things like on Instagram where you have to like share a story or like share a post and tag people, you'll probably be the only person, and you'll be tagging yourself, and you'll probably win. So
okay, now we gotta get in on a t-shirt competition, but okay. Contest, not a t-shirt competition. That's very different. Anth0z, why don't you let the audience know that thing you wanted to tell them?
恭喜發財，恭喜發財，恭喜，wait，身體健康，唔該，拜拜。
Bye.